Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for the Scraproom, and I am sharing this layout that I created using the January Flavor of the Month kit. I'm using the Pebbles Happy Cake Day collection. I have two photos of my daughter who is celebrating her 13th birthday. So I created that digital cut file with this particular layout in mind. I was inspired by something that I saw. I think it must have been on Pinterest. I never saved it or repinned it, but it's something that stuck in my mind. And so I couldn't find a 1 that I liked. So that is actually a capital I, but I like the way that it has the lines and kind of closes off that gap between the, I'm going to call it a 1 now, and the 3. So I'm going to back that with one of the pattern papers from the kit, and then I am going to trim off a 1/2 inch, I believe, on each side so that I have that stripy diagonal background to frame the layout. I had toyed with the idea of putting some mixed media on this, but that pattern paper that says Hip Hip Hooray that I'm backing the 13 with is pretty busy, and so it kind of needs that clean white background in order to make that pop. So I'm going to commit to this once I've trimmed off those edges, and then I am going to use some of the ephemera that comes in the kit, and you will get a couple of tags, a third a sheet of tags that I actually am not going to use, a puffy word phrase, as well as a mixture of the icon and phrase ephemera, and that will vary from kit to kit. And I am also going to use the puffy dots that are part of the embellishment add-on kit. So I'm kind of struggling here with these two photos. I really wanted to incorporate both of them into the layout, but yeah, you'll see I don't end up doing that. And I wish that I had moved the 13 over to the left, so I had just trimmed off a whole inch from the right hand side instead of trimming off both sides. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the phrase that comes with the kit on the left hand side of the one, and then I'm going to use a whole row minus the neutrals on the right hand side of the one there. And I just love the pop of color that it adds to the layout, as well as it complements the whole spectrum of color that is in that border around the layout there. I had tried folding the plastic behind the puffy dots in half so that I could put them on in a line, but that was not going to work. It just popped all the dots off, and so I just eyeballed it and moved them in a straight line, hopefully equidistant down the edge of the number. And it's not perfect, but it works. It looks like a straight line. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to that. I know that that's what I want. I was lucky in that the one word that I got was pink and hooray, and that I wanted to work on a girl's layout. Not that I wouldn't put a pink hooray on my boys layout. I would do that, but it worked well given the theme that I had here. So this is my collection of ephemera that I'm going to shuffle around here. I end up actually using a good chunk of it. There is that little porcupine with the 3 balloons hanging off of him, which I thought was particularly cute, and I liked him poking out from behind the photo. So you can see I got rid of the second photo there. I could have shrunk the photos and put both of them in, but it didn't leave room for journaling really, and I really wanted to use that floral tag because again it pulled all of those colors together. I also wanted to leave enough room around the 3 that you could tell that it was a 3 without obstructing too much of that. So I thought with this yellow that I would do another strip down the left-hand side of the page. And my aim in doing that was to fill that white space because there was a disparity between the space on the right and the space on the left. But you can see when I stick it there, it literally looks like I've just done it to fill the space, and it serves no purpose whatsoever. But fortunately, the way that I cut it, I am able to use bits and pieces from what I cut from the back from those squares that are on the back of that. And that one says birthday, so I'm going to make that say 13th birthday. And I will use another bit of that strip as well. It will be a green, it says party, and it said something up above it. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it just so happened that the way I cut it, I was able to salvage all of those bits and pieces there. So there's the 13th, and then you see I have that cupcake with the phrase that says let's eat cake below that. Now I'm going to change that. It bothers me a lot in that the 3 is obstructed. You can tell it's a 3, but I just don't like those 2 horizontal lines up the top. It's visually disturbing to me, and so I will find a way to shorten that horizontal to make that work, to tuck that into the birthday, the 13th and the birthday. But then again, it obstructs the 3. You still know that it's a 3, but I just couldn't make it work. But that is perfect there. So that follows the horizontal line of the 1. And by moving the party hat, I can incorporate another horizontal on the top of that 1 there, and sort of fill that space a little bit. So I've used the yellow that I thought was going to be the strip on the left-hand side to back this green, or it's actually white on green party, and I'm going to banner that somewhat so that it has the reverse direction of the let's eat cake on the bottom there. And that was perfect. And it was so not planned at all when I set out to create the layout, and I was looking at the bits and pieces that I had, but it was perfect use of that salvage strip, or that yellow strip that I was able to salvage there. So I messed around with the placement of this photo because I really wanted it up by the balloons. And so what you're going to see is that I am actually going to off camera, I'm going to move the hedgehog down. So you can still see that it's a 3, but that way he's kind of more, I can pull the balloons on the front of the picture and nestle it around a lot better. So I'm going to pop off a few of the elements here. I'm going to pop off party and the hat, and I have to pop off party because of the hat, and then I'm going to pop off the cupcake as well. And as I was editing the photo, I thought, oh, I should have put one of the thread balls behind the cupcake, and that would have been fun and festive and celebratory, kind of like confetti, but I didn't think of it at the time. And honestly, it's more the luxury of being able to do that more than that the layout really needed it for any design principles or any other purpose. Not that any layout needs anything. The storytelling is the more important part here, as well as the photo. So I have finished that, and strangely have not adhered that down, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to struggle with this tag a little bit because it's very busy. I had toyed with maybe getting some gesso out and doing a Missy Whidden and kind of putting gesso over it so that I had somewhere to journal. But what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to cut a white piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to type out my journaling in Word and print that onto the cardstock and then just stick it there. It's a smaller print, but it just talks about my daughter's birthday, and you can actually see that in one of the close-ups to follow. So this is the Pebbles Happy Cake collection from the January Flavors of the Month Scraproom kit. If you are a new subscriber and you leave my name in the comment box, Rochelle will send you a little extra something. Don't forget that we have challenges over on Facebook, and we would love to have you join us there. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Take care.